Hello, I'm Georgian Sarishvili and you are watching a rough test drive. On today's rough test drive you will see the Porsche 911 Turbo S. That's not the ordinary Porsche that everybody has. That one is different. We have already filmed some interesting Porsches, but that's the most interesting one. It's one of the fastest cars in the world. That's the newest model from 2021, 911 Turbo S, which shakes everything and everyone and brings a call of fear. It really is a Reaper. Jack the Ripper is nothing compared to this. Just a horror story for the evening. I will tell you all about it step by step. I want you to know why this car is different, what I think, and of course we will full send it today for sure. Porsche takes care of its reputation. They are really proud of 911 and over the many years, they develop one model. Same body and design over and over again. Porsche developed this car technically so much that it really destroys everything. When I say that it destroys everything, I mean it literally. And it's not only destroying, but it bullies and spits in the souls of other cars and laughs at other cars on the track. But I cannot start with the design of this car because I will turn to technical characteristics when we will go to the track at Rustavi International Motor Park. I want to start talking about the design from the back of the car. Just a couple of words before I get to a full design. What they really developed and changed is the back of this car, the ass of the car, which seems really muscular. It has the ass just like a photo model. If you're looking from the back, it's even sexy. I of course like taillights on the back most of the time, and the latest models of the Porsche has such bonded taillights, like bonded eyebrows. Bonded eyebrows don't look good on people, but I can't say the same about this car. It's slightly dark and I like it that way as well. When you're looking at these taillights, it's like they have shadow lines darkened and it doesn't have something wrapped on it. It's just like it and lights beautifully at night. Spoiler pops up. It pops up all the way really well for more downforce for a better grip. That's also a technical thing, but it elevates beautifully. Here are two big exhaust pipes on the muffler. It has a full diffuser around which looks very elegant and also sporty. It looks sporty because when you look, it's expanded on the sides. You can see it, it's pulled from the sides. As for the muffler, it's the head of it, as we call it dummy exhaust tips. It's just made in a way to be beautiful. The real exhaust from where the smoke comes out is inside. I think you could see it. It has it on both sides. And the most brutal thing that this car has is the badge. Porsche 911 Turbo S. If you see it, you must put your ass down. Don't jump out of your skin. Just don't bother. Don't be fooled by the beautiful eyes of this car from the front. It will just destroy you. I really think that in this car the most brutal thing is this badge, 911 Turbo S. This is the trunk door. You can call it hood or trunk door. But we reach the engine from here. But nothing much happens here. Let me show you. Well, I won't teach you that the engine is in the back. These cars are mid-engines, and Turbo S is written here as well. What we have here, I still wanted to show you, nothing special, oil and water tanks, there's nothing else here for you. If you use Valvoline, this car will serve you fucking good. If you don't use it, it will serve you fucking good, but not that long. There's nothing else I can show you. Everything is hidden. If something's wrong with the car, you must take it to the service center and not pull it. Let it go. I want to draw your attention to the rims. I want to emphasize those rims because they're not ordinary rims, which have their own 5 or whatever bolts. Here is the one main rust bolt, big bolt, or whatever it is called. Those are installed because it's the car from the sports line. The disc is removed only with the one rust bolt. This is the real racing car style car. Also, I want to pay attention to the brake system. Huge carbon ceramics, which the car surely needs, but I want you to show the front. Gio, show them the front because, as I read, it has 10 piston support. It means that it makes the asphalt break. The asphalt is cracked and bent. It makes small hills on the road. This car needs it. It's not like you install it for showing off. This car really needs it. Also, the important details of this car are those side vents. And why are those important? If you want to distinguish the 911 Turbo S from the ordinary 911s, which don't have those vents, you can look, and if you can't find vents, you can show up with your BMW M5 and RAV. But if you see the vents, it's better to turn on comfort mode and leave quietly, to fuck off and go wherever you were going. It's also an indicator that this car costs twice as much money. Double price. This car also needs vents. Of course, those are not the vents when it doesn't matter whether you have those or not, it needs good cooling. This vent can drag you in, even recycle you and throw you out from the muffler. I can't keep my mouth shut and not talk about the technical characteristics of this car. For those who don't know it, stay on our channel. The mirrors. I won't stay long on mirrors. Here is the camera, of course, with a 360-degree surround view to see on the monitor inside, not to grate some shit. Because, trust me, you surely don't want to wreck or scratch this car. And now we again turn to the front of the car. Front of the car. The bent nose of the car. The only thing that this nose has is that from the bottom, together with the spoiler, something like big lips comes down. When you enter the track and push the button, the splitter is for the downforce. What else can I say about the rest? I can bring up a simple example. I'll explain it with a simple example. Do you know what kind of car is this visually? When you see the aged woman, she's in really good shape. All the 911 Porsches look somehow alike. You will agree with me on that. Just don't fool yourself that they changed headlights or something. No, all of them visually look alike. It's not brutal and is elegant as always. It means that it is aging and changing, but still in tonus and remains in good shape. It realizes that youngsters are overtaking. The competition is very tough, but does its best to stay in shape. What I want to say, nothing changes much, and at the first glance, every model is the same. But you realize that it is still in a good shape. You still like it, and it attracts you, and is still beautiful. But this beauty is fading away when it comes to the competitors. For example, when you have a Performante Hurricane on the side, it's hard to compete. I just wanted to make this comparison with this car. It's good and beautiful, I like it, but it's hard to compete with the youngsters. For example, we were driving in the car and stopped on the road to get a coffee, to talk and to decide whether to film, what to film, or whatever. And I was paying attention to the people. Let me say, 5 out of 10 people were watching the car and another 5 really didn't give a shit. Yes, I just want to say that other much cheaper cars, even our cars bought at a quarter price, receive more attention than the design of this one. People just can't understand, and if you are the owner of this car, you must not be surprised if someone comes to you and says that their boyfriend or girlfriend has the same car. Of course, he or she can't have the same car, but you just must not be surprised. I say it often, pussy magnet, pussy magnet. This is not a pussy magnet. On the contrary, it attracts men. And it's because if someone understands cars and sees Turbo S on the back, can't take eyes from you, because it's one of the fastest cars in the world. That's why it attracts dudes mostly. They come and just ask, yo, what's the speed or stuff like that. And girls don't do that generally, girls who don't understand cars, I mean. On the other hand, it's beautiful. Briefly, I don't want to talk about its design anymore because it hurts some of you when I say that it's not brutal and aggressive. But it's still a beautiful and elegant car. Sports car, and especially when you know what does 911 Turbo means, this car surely is everyone's desirable car. I'm sure you didn't miss the number plates of this car. You just can't miss it. You already know whose car it is. It's our loyal viewer who always supported our show, and big thanks to him for being such a cool guy who buys such cars. That's not only friendship and support, but he also does much more than this for us. And I tell you what exactly. There are some models which we don't have access to. People don't want us to borrow it for different reasons. Grudges or don't give it on us on purpose, and we have gaps. Faza always calls us and asks, "Wait, you haven't filmed this model yet?" The gap is being filled, and it means that if we can't film anything, Faza will come, lend us a car, and we will film a new video. Anyway, do not ask for GTR. I'm sure he doesn't like GTR either. Don't make him buy GTR because of our video. Or he can bring a couple GTRs and we can be deceived and film it. Okay, let's get back to our Porsche. Not to talk too much and not to bother you, I can tell you that this is the beast who obeys only and only the owner. We can now sit, drive a bit, and also take a look at the interior. Let's go, Gio. As always, we went out of town, to the mountains, because freedom can only be found in the mountains. Not many people walk here, and we want to take quiet, well, beautiful shots of our car. Because I'm still in the cabin of the car, we have not reached our destination yet, and we can talk about the interior. Everything is the same, but also everything is a bit changed, improved, and refined. I can certainly tell already that I like the cabin interior very much, especially the combination of those colors. For some reason, I really like the combination of red and black, and it suits the car. I like the gray color, the color of a frightened mouse from the outside of the car too. And the combination of gray and red is the perfect match for me. To put it aside, Porsche never lost the interior quality of its car. They always paid great attention to every detail. Nothing shakes and nothing breaks and nothing decays like a corpse. Everything has good leather, good material. You like everything you touch. That's why I can say that everything is fine, but let's go through the details. In 911 Turbo S, we standardly have the chrono package, which is a stopwatch, and we can mark time on track while driving. It's good that such cars have it. Pay attention to steering. You're probably familiar with the design. Visually, it does not differ much from other Porsches, but in general, I like these forms, sports forms. We have buttons, which are the main thing to feel comfortable while driving in a city, and one of the most important buttons, which is the mod switch. From here we can spin and set on sports. Sport Plus, individual, wet road, and of course the next mode is comfort, that we use right now to drive silently and quietly. We can also change it from the touchscreen. But to not waste time, we have the same function on the steering to change it quickly when something is happening and you need sport. It responds instantly. I'm a bit afraid. Let's turn it off for now. Okay, calm. It's faster than motherfucker. It will kill you right as quickly as it accelerates. It really can kill you right away. To set you on the path to paradise, you'll meet God in 2.5 seconds. It's a sports car and the sound comes in a bit. Here's the sound of pebbles and I cannot tell you if it's good or bad. In a sports car, in general, the sound still comes in, but you should know that it comes in here too. But I would not give a shit. Yes, I would not give a shit. What?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
What you want? Come on. Fuck that shit. While you're paying 250 grand, they can't use one motherfucking thick felt fender liners? You sound ridiculous. Gio pisses me off by saying that the sound of pebbles comes in a lot. To demonstrate it, I will switch to Pebble Road. As he said, I don't care. Why doesn't it have a thick felt fender liners? Okay, I'll make you feel good. For the car with the price of 250 grand, too much noise comes from the pebbles. It is intended for the city too and should not have it. Is it good? That's it. The bar is a standard Porsche design, but a bit modified to look nice. I would add again, elegant and sporty. Again, they left that one issue. There is no space to put anything, anywhere. We can put one big hell here, and put one Joe on the air vent, and the phone goes in the balls. There is no other way. You cannot put it anywhere else. It doesn't even have a place for glasses. And there was no more room down there, so I preferred to put them on my face. I like the monitor. The sun is not reflected on it, at least that much that I can see it. The image looks very good, the colors are also normal, and the stripes are really small. There is a touchscreen too. Everything changes from here perfectly. Opening the muffler, raising the spoiler, lowering the lip, start, stop, it automatically shuts off. Here's everything on the touchscreen, and in general, it's good. They know their thing. We can also press sport from here and the suspension goes to sport mode, but everything is so close to each other. Why do we need a touch? When we have a button right here, press it and it has the same function. That's it. It's off and move to normal. I don't know, if I have reached here, if I have reached here before, if I have reached here, then it doesn't matter. The hand is already there. I will continue with the buttons now. The muffler exhaust system. When you press it, pretends to have a big sound, but it only pretends to have a big sound. It is already a well-known fact that the sound in this car is not good. But I will return to it later. In my opinion, this is the best button here. If you draw nearer to a bad road, you can press it, the car will rise and you will step through it, so as not to overtake the bottom. And after that, it will get back to normal by itself, or you will help as well. So it really helps to avoid big bumps on the road. So it's a necessary button. I like it. This car should have one. Let's move on to the main indicators board. I would like to mention that I like it very much too. Although I can't see two indicators from here. There is. Two indicators are less visible from here. The steering is covering it. You can see this and can see this as well. Okay, damn it. Here are some hours and degrees, and what do we have here? Here, fuel gauge. Okay, we can move and see the fuel now. As for the fuel, it should be visible because the owner told me that it burns 20 liters per 100 kilometers, which is not a small number. We took a 5-minute break. We met some of our friends here, we stopped and greeted them, and now we continue. But before that, I want to show you what we found here. A nest of pebbles. Some state was built here. They may suddenly fly a flag and then demand independence. We even rolled it out. It was full. Oh, he rolled it out and then realized that we should have shot it. Okay, as for the doors, the disadvantage of them for me is that from where you let them go, they close by themselves, but not completely. Here, you want to open the door and then you have to catch it quickly. That's the deal anyway. We make sure that you need soft closed doors because if you close it several times slowly, it will not close. I mean it literally. If you close it slowly, it will not close. What else? Oh yes, fuck this tradition that you must start the engine from the left. Those left-handers piss me off. Put one button here, knock on it and start the engine. Who is racing now? We have already gotten used to it that it's yours. Everyone knows that it's the tradition for Porsche to start from the left, and if you are racing with someone, you should start, don't waste time and rush. Well, the tradition meant that you used to start with the key and throw it to the transmission, and you had 2 momentary movements, but now it's automatics, ordinary PDK. It's a simple level of the automatics, right? Take it, move it here, and we are in D. So make it here, change the tradition, press the button here, and that's it. Click. Bam. That's it. It's a bad tradition. Traditions must be a thing of the past. Let's go. We don't want traditions. In one word, everything is normal. I like it. I like it. I realize that I am in Porsche. It has not changed. Nothing has changed radically to say that this is a totally different Porsche and so on. They are fucking with us and convinced us that it should be like that, and they believe that it should be like the G-Wagon, but even the G-Class has changed. Recall Fuze again. Fuze's new model with an eggplant color that we filmed. It had a different salon altogether. Today, different. From the outside it changed slightly, but the cabin was completely different. You could make a difference here too. You did not have to do it, but you could. Here, for example, as for GTS Mercedes, whether it is GTR or just GT, I'm talking about a coupe whose drive we filmed and you can see. It has a different interior from other Mercedes, yes. You notice the details of the Mercedes, you realize that you're in the Mercedes, but you can see differences when the bar rises from the top like UFO. That the glass or windshield is small. It's low ceiling. I'm talking about the car released in 2015, the AMG GT. What can I say? Yes, I drove a lot of cars, we filmed a lot, and we filmed one of the fastest cars, it's true. It's not like that, but it has some things. It stands out from other Mercedes, it's another car. What else can I say? The seats are good and comfortable, but I'm going back to Mercedes again. Sorry, there is nothing I can do. I'll get back to Mercedes again. Seats of GTS. The sporty ones were like porn. The same GLC of Fuze that we filmed. There were 2 seats there, those were much better. Even when we had C63 with the same seats, when you look, you're glad that you have those chairs. That is a real porn. There are cool seats here too, not bad, nothing bothers me. Or I can say it on the contrary, they are ideal, but not as effective and beautiful as the previously mentioned ones. All this, the conclusion, I of course will put at the end of the video and will say what I liked, what I didn't like, why, etc. But I want you to know that all of this is based on price. Anyway, if this car was worth 100, 120, 130, 50 from the very beginning, I would say okay, fuck it. But the price is cosmic. 250,000, even euros, I guess, right? Who cares when you pay 250 for a car? One slave must be included. All this must be sewn with panda skin. It's like if they stretch your face and you have a guarantee that your whole life will not be interrupted, something like that. Maybe some golden threads. When used in plastic surgery, the gold thread should be here at least. When I press the foot on the gas pedal, it has to give me a massage from there. I should be expecting a Chinese massage. Anyway, I guess so. I repeat, that when you face a car worth 150,000, it should not be almost the same. Let's talk about the driving style. How do I like it in a city or outside the city? What kind of car is it as usual means of transportation? Because Porsche claims that this car is unique for both the track and the city. As for the city, I would say it is quite soft. It will not rumble inside unless we take into account the fact that noise is really coming inside. From the beginning, Gio and I were really fighting over it, like, come on, it's a sports car, I said, it's the fastest car and this motherfucker can't have a sound inside. It was a good note though. So it's good for the operator to be aware of the cars as well, because he gave me one good hint. Here, there might have been a little soft fender liner to suppress that sound. Here, there is ordinary plastic here. Just the plastic. Yes, this would really fix the situation. The noise may not have been completely reduced, but it would have been corrected. One more thing I can add is that I like the suspension system very much. Not only because of the stiffness and because the seats are soft. Both are well balanced so that you don't vomit in the car. I would not focus on the comfort on this car. It is more sporty because it's a sports car, and the place of the sports car is only on the track. Therefore, we can now get in the car, stop talking a lot of rubbish, and go straight to the track of Rustavi International Motor Park. Because all of you are waiting for it. Acceleration and driving on the track. We can go. Let's go. I used to say that I was curious to get on a track with 911, and now I'm going with one of the fastest 911s, and it is very difficult. Very difficult because it is very fast. It grips very well, it turns well, and you have to get used to all of this. It's very cool, really cool. Let's rest for a little. I'll share you my emotions. It drives so well, I always wanted to drive 911 on the track, and I want to emphasize it once more. And this 911 is too much. 911 with the turbo version. I'm glad to have this experience. What else can I say? It doesn't allow you to relax at all. You're driving so fast that you can't think of anything else for a second. You're focused on the steering wheel, the turning, and you try to determine in advance where you are going to turn. You can drive so fast, it turns so well, and it's so tame that you can no longer think about it. You go from one turn to another so fast that you're already confused. So there are people who systematically drive through the track. Drive the whole thing, that's how we went through the whole circle, and of course, this work has its professionals. And therefore, we do not mark time at all. It doesn't make sense. When you want to get a good result with a particular car, then you have to train with that car, examine it, know the tires, which one is better to use, etc. As you can suddenly wake up one fine day and say that today you will go and drive on the track with a good drift, it is exactly the same with different cars in my case. I can't come and do my best because it requires regular training. Now it's time to move to the drag strip because we all wonder now how this car accelerates from 0 to 100 and what will be the quarter-mile time at our Rustavi International Motor Park. Let's go to the drag strip. And the long-awaited moment. We are at the starting line with the 911 Turbo S version, one of the fastest Porsches, and we are all interested in the acceleration of this car. We are at the Rustavi International Motor Park and we can easily go straight to the track. Now let's activate the options and features that we need. Go straight from the steering wheel. This car is all-wheel drive, but it still spins, so we have to turn off the traction control. Not this son of a gun, not this button. We turned off the traction. Launch control is really easy to activate. You just have to press the brake and accelerate pedal and it activates. It doesn't need spells, holy water or some kind of shaman rituals. Straightforward. Accelerate, brake. The main thing is to be in sports. I'm ready. If you're ready too, grab a chair and put on some headphones because it will be real porn now. 3, 2, 1. It can easily knock you out.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that? You broke
My back is broken.
what? A vertebrae or
Well,
what portion?
Spinal.
The soul has left the body, but from the ass. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know how to express this feeling in words. I thought we were filming fast cars and it turned out that fast cars are this. It deserves praise. We may not like many other things about it, but what it knows is its own business. Here are the accelerations. 0 to 100, 2.95, 100 to 200, showed 6.64, from 0 to 2000, 9.60, and quarter, 10.63. Here it is. It was just the first launch. We'll try a few more. Of course, we'll collect the data and compare it. It is very fast, very fast. And count on the brakes of this car. I'll tell you what is happening now. Let's go through this data directly. From 0 to 100, 2.71, the result is already better. The quarter is 10.21. And I want to mention, you have already seen the photo, even on a slightly smaller wave, it accelerates so fast that the front tires are blown in the air. Anyway, the picture shows that it is raised in the air. So now I want to find the right place and accelerate just from 0 to 100. From 0 to 100, 2.63. Well, it needs a little better tires, at least a little. They somehow jump. As it flies and starts tugging. We filmed a lot of cars, and even though we wanted more results, better results, I can honestly say that this is the fastest car we have ever filmed in these 4 years. Now let's cool down the car a bit, get out of the car with me, and let's go through the technical characteristics a bit, because we have not talked about it. We were only talking about the speed. Let's go. We did everything we could with this car. Now let's move to the end. The most interesting is often in the end. That is what we liked and what we didn't. Let's first say what we liked about this car. First, we like that it is unpleasantly fast. It's so fast that you don't enjoy it anymore. You may break suddenly in the spine or have an upset stomach. I really mean it. It's not about the acceleration from 0 to 100 anymore. Here is an acceleration from 0 to inevitable death. Really, or accelerate from 0 to jail if you are very lucky. This is the biggest advantage of this car. Let's get back to the characteristics now. We have a 6-cylinder twin-turbo with a displacement of 3.7 liters that produces 640 horsepower and 800 Nm of torque. The gearbox, or PDK as we call it, is 8-speed, which switches very well. The torque distribution is very good, i.e. it works well. If you go slowly, it's rear wheel, but as soon as you realize that you need the front grip, the torque shifts just forward. Our Newton meters rise and the car is very stable. I want you to understand me correctly. I like the design. I appreciate it. It's fucking amazing. It's beautiful, but you can't take Batman's body and Batman's uniform in this car if you understand what I mean. It doesn't stand aside from the crowd as much as, for example, McLaren, Ferrari, i8 or Lambo. For example, in Lambo, you will be enjoying just like sitting in a suit of Batman, you will meet another universe. You can find it here. That's the only disadvantage for me. Because of the price, I want it to be totally different. In this car, you can freely put your finger in your nose or yell, because only 50 out of 100 people would look at you. If you go out with a Lambo, then 100 out of 100 will look at you. Another big disadvantage is the sound of this car. And noise is required. When you have a car with an internal combustion engine, you want noise. You want sound. If no, then the electric cars are silent and accelerate very quickly from 0 to 100. The latest Tesla have the same time approximately, and the latest one played is even faster. We can only say goodbye now until the next video. But I can't get out of here without trying Quadro Donut with this car. Let's go.